Pisces, welcome to your full moon in Cancer reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Pisces, sun, moon, and rising for the full moon in Cancer happening on January the 13th. So many interesting messages have come through for the collective here. Let's see what we have for Pisces. Oh, we got two shooting out here. Ooh, Five of Cups in reverse. And the Ace of Cups setting the current energy. It's on the bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands. Wow, so your future energy is really going to be determined by how much love and compassion and self-care you give yourself right now. Because I think, Pisces, you may have gone through something here in that Five of Cups in reverse that you're still processing emotionally. And, you know, sometimes the Five of Cups in reverse gives me this feeling that says, Did I do the right thing? Your emotions may be feeling sort of this idea of remorse or guilt, but it almost feels like it's internal. So let yourself off the hook here. I can't help but think that you did what you had to do in a situation in order to move yourself forward, but that might be new territory. You might be used to sort of focusing on how something makes others feel as opposed to how did it make you feel. And so it almost feels like you're needing to allow yourself some grace and love right now. Don't beat yourself up. But yeah, your mind might be racing. Seven of Swords on the bottom with some concepts, or the inner conversation itself may be, you know, not serving the idea of self-love right now. You know, you may be thinking along a way like, why did I do that? That was wrong. You know, I shouldn't have done that. And your focus is allowing your emotions to sit in a bit of a place that now needs replenishing. So you might be feeling a certain way because of how you're thinking about something. And it almost feels like you pulled your power back from something. That Ace of Cups in reverse always makes me feel like you had to focus on you, and that might be unfamiliar territory, Pisces. You may be used to focusing on others, lovers, yeah. It's a relationship energy that feels like in order to show up authentically, you may have had to pull your energy away because your forward movement towards relationships that are balanced. I wonder if there was a relationship recently that you're still sort of processing the shift you've made because you were more focused on how to show up for that person, but now you're really focused on how to show up for yourself. And monitor that inner dialogue, my friends, because those inner conversations really set the tone for how you're going to feel and how things are going to get reflected back at you. So don't beat yourself up. Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck with the Magician. So that's confirmation. You were redirected. You knew you had to do something in order to accomplish an intention that you have set for yourself. Like, you know, it's interesting. What's coming through right now is this idea of someone who may be a bit of a people pleaser. That may have been their coping strategy. Which is, I mean, people pleasing is like a very complex trauma response that's like, I will put myself on the back burner because I don't want to experience the intensity of outcomes or conflict that feel really charged. So to keep the peace, I'll abandon myself. And it feels like you may have decided that was no longer serving you. And it may have really been evident in certain relationships that you're moving away from now, but your mind might be spiraling out a little bit, trying to make sense of this. Yeah, you've got the Two of Swords with the Ace of Pentacles coming out as the energy that led up to this. So there was a crossroads where I really think you felt quite ungrounded in a relationship, and it didn't really feel like an opportunity. But, you know, with these two coin cards, I wonder if it was with someone who was providing you with some kind of security in the material world. So that may have been why you were allowing the dynamic to stay the way it was, because you didn't want to seem ungrateful, or you didn't want to, you know, seem like you didn't appreciate what they were, how their offering of security and stability was helping to ground you. But now seeing this Queen of Pentacles tells me that you were likely feeling ungrounded anyway. So this is really a time, I think, where you had to make a difficult decision, but it was one that you needed to make to be there for yourself, Pisces. Upcoming energy is the Three of Cups. So there is a celebration ahead. There are people ahead that feel like you're going to feel sort of validated by in some way. Not that you need that external validation, but it just feels like you've swapped energies. You've decided that I'm no longer showing up like this for others. I'm going to show up and be balanced in the give and take instead of just focusing on how to make that person feel secure and how to get love. You know, I can't shake that feeling that you just wanted to feel that love back. You wanted to feel it returned. And so you may not have been focusing too much on self-love. You may have been focusing on the external giving you something that you needed to give yourself. And I think you did make a big decision that even moving forward, you're sort of like, did I do the right thing? But I have a feeling you're going to be talking to some people that are going to say, you know, you did. You're going to get that confirmation. And maybe this reading serves as some confirmation as well. The Star card in reverse as your inner shift with the Strength card in reverse on the bottom feels like you're reestablishing your faith in yourself. You're rediscovering your authenticity. And it might feel a bit right now like challenging, you know, especially with that Strength card in reverse on the bottom. It may feel like you temporarily allowed a situation to be more the focus than the relationship you have with yourself. And you're bringing that around. You're healing that. You're setting new intentions. You're starting to trust yourself. That's the thing I'm feeling here, is that you may be doubting yourself. You may have some self-doubt around a situation that the reading is trying to say you did what you had to do. Now trust it and focus on being there for yourself and creating things that feel aligned for you. Eight of Swords in reverse. I mean, Eight of Swords in reverse to me feels like you're starting to loosen a little bit on the thinking, the way you're thinking about a situation. You may have been really spiraling into a lot of limited beliefs here. You may have been feeling like there's no possible good outcome. It's all worst case scenario. But Two of Wands tells me that and with this in reverse, that the outer shift that comes from having more faith in yourself and trusting yourself allows your thinking to change. And we see that Knight of Swords where it's like, that's the biggest challenge, is getting your mind to stop racing to the worst outcomes. And I couldn't help but feel a sense of guilt when I looked at that Five of Cups. So I wonder if you're beating yourself up a little bit in your own mind, saying, you know, how could you have done that to that person? They've always been there for you. Because, you know, seeing that Ace of Pentacles and that Queen in reverse really felt like this could be someone who has been there for you in a way to help you establish things in the material world. But, you know, at what cost? Right? Like that Seven of Pentacles that we saw with the Three of Cups really asks, like, at what cost do I maintain certain things? If they have such a high emotional cost on you, it may not be worth it, you know? Sun in reverse. I think that's the key here, is that this row makes me think that you're still trying to come into terms of accepting this. Queen of Wands. You may even be thinking, did I overreact? Did I say something that I wish I hadn't? Did I express myself in a way that was like reactive instead of responsive? And with the Sun in reverse, it almost feels like you're not feeling optimistic about what has happened here. But the outcome is the High Priestess with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So prioritizing yourself is exactly what your higher self wants you to do. And the Six of Cups is saying you couldn't wear those rose-colored glasses anymore. You had to look at a situation for what it really was. And if it wasn't serving you in a way that felt like you were showing up authentically, or you weren't trusting yourself, and you were sort of, I can't shake this feeling of like a people-pleasing energy where you may have been wearing a mask in order to keep the status quo, but that was affecting you negatively. So you did what you had to do. And you might not have liked how you said it or what you said exactly, but even as I cut the oracle deck, look at that. You see the soulmates with between worlds. Like there's been a shift in a relationship here, and you're moving on in a different way from this relationship. It feels like it really makes me feel like this is setting you up for more aligned relationships. So work on the relationship with yourself, because the inner shift is what creates the outer shift. So if you really start loving yourself authentically, then so will others, right? Co-create, exactly. You're working really closely right now with the energy within to co-create something here intuitively with your higher self, with your authentic self. And your thoughts are the biggest obstacle here. But look at that. To be fair, it's like there was something that wasn't fair. And you need to be more flexible with how you're thinking about this, because I think you just balance things out. But it might be such new territory for you that you're feeling a bit guilty, or you're feeling a little bit of remorse. But really, you just cleaned up something that wasn't in balance. And now you're ready to start, experiencing reality in a new way. New consciousness, new reality. Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck here really feels like it's time to start focusing on how to be more open to yourself, loving yourself, being more compassionate to yourself. And then that allows you to be open to receive as well. A win-win. This is going to work out just fine. Relieve yourself of any thoughts that think the worst outcome is what is going to happen. You and your loved ones are safe. Yes. You really may have been forecasting some big worst case scenarios here, and feeling a lot of guilt and remorse. But it's like the reading is saying, nope, continue to prioritize yourself, be bold and make the first move, which is exactly what I think you did. And it made you feel sort of uncomfortable because it's new. But the end of a rough cycle approaches here. Full moon in Capricorn for Pisces. Very interesting. You've got to just take your time with this and really focus on doing what you can do to really love yourself and nurture yourself and be there for yourself. That will create an outer reflection that matches. Very interesting, Pisces. I hope this reading has been helpful. And thank you so much for joining me today. Wishing you all the best for this full moon in Cancer. And we'll see you again soon for the next reading. Take care, my friends.